Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, Skansaki, for the follow. Good morning. I hope your day is going well. Let's turn. So we're going to be painting more minis today by EC3D Design and Heroes Hoard. All these currently I've been doing are by EC3D Design, but I can print both for sale if you want. The purpose of the stream isn't to sell the minis or print them for people. It's more for me to talk to somebody while I do my hobby stuff. But anything that, helps pay for the electricity in here and get more of these guys out in the world. Oh, there we go. Works better. This is the Ibis Merchant. We may finish him up today. Although it looks like I misstepped. I'm going to have to color some more skin on him. We're going to work on the guard troops today. The infantrymen, we'll get some more of them finished up. I found painting yesterday off stream that I have having some serious issues with my brush control. So we'll see what happens. So Skansaki, do you stream? Do you do any kind of mini painting or crafting? You never have to speak in chat, but I always like to ask. Wow. That's gross looking. Let's start at the top. And we'll get right into it today. We're going to start off with the guardsman here. I got this one further along. I got a lot of the metal done on him, and I got the brown on the shield. He's a lot further along than the last guy. I know I said I wanted to batch paint these guys, but I think I need to get one done first so I know exactly what I'm doing with the other two before I move on. I touched up a lot of the red on there. We're going to have to touch up the white on the padded portion of his armors. We'll get all that done. There's two and a half hours today at least. We can get some painting done. Get that brush. Get the big brush. And I did go through on all three of them and I painted the faces. We still have to go back and try and do the eyes, which are, I have to find a good brush for that. Something with a nice pointy tip. Hopefully won't need too much more of the skeleton bone for the armor. Yeah, it's going to take another coat. And we're just trying to cover where the primer's showing through on the padded armor. We're not, we're trying to keep it all painting in the lines, but if I have to go back with the red and do a couple touch-ups, that's okay. And I did do the leather on his gloves and his boots. I tried doing the pop rivets in a different metallic color, but it was too close, so we're going to go back and we're going to find... I like making the individual details pop on these guys. I know the rivets would typically be the same color as the rest of his armor, but I figure since I'm painting these as a proper town, military force, they would all be somewhat the same. And we have the guardsmen here. And then in Minis Waiting for Polly, we have the archer, the guard sergeant, and the guard captain. And once I get the washes on, the padded armor is going to be like this. But they're all basically the same. Red and white. He's got a blue cape denoting he's the captain, along with all his little bells and whistles. They've all got medallions or big broochy type buttons on their clasps. I believe they were on these too. Oh, they're hidden on these. So we'll find out. We'll find some other detail to bring out on them to make them all match a little more. I see much steadier today than I did yesterday when I was painting off stream, so maybe that's part of my brush control issue yesterday. I just could not paint in a straight line to save my butt. But I really wanted to put paint to resin yesterday, so I went ahead and did it anyway. Maybe I should have just waited. Yeah, there's been a lot of touch up on this one. And we'll go through, we'll get the brown on their boots today and bring these guys all in line. As you've heard me say many times, these guys don't have to be perfect. There really is no such thing as perfect. There's where you decide you're done and you want to stop. And if you're the one that put the effort into it, that's always good enough. Every mini doesn't have to be a forward progression in your talent. There are more oftentimes many steps back before you make a new step forward, so if you're having trouble, don't worry about it. Just keep on pushing through. And also, as I've said many times about these particular minis that I'm painting, they're not meant to be your PCs and your main villains, although they can be. So you may not want to go beyond just blocking in the armor colors and throwing some flesh tone on the face and calling it a day. Because these guys are just meant to fill the scene. They're not meant to be the guys that take the focus. But I seem to have an issue with not painting detail. And I keep finding myself coming in here and trying to make everything stand out and pop. And that's not necessarily what needs to be done for these guys. Plus, I'd like to use these guys in a couple dioramas or something. You know, they may get set up in some fashion. Hoping my kids will use them in their games. I know my oldest has talked about wanting to get a set of dungeon tiles built and do at least part of his game on a hard board, because sometimes it's nice just to have that 3D look at it. You can define where your people are, representation. Makes things go a little smoother when you can measure things and it's not all in your head or on a 2D map on a screen, which is how he does most of it. And most of his group, for his Wednesday session anyway, is remote, so they have to do the 2D. The 3D is much harder, but we're going to try and get him set up so he can do that too. Okay. I went through and I painted all that rigid leather on his boots, and I forgot to do his belt. Pardon me. Forgot to do his belts and straps. Let's go ahead and get some more rigid leather out. There you are. I don't know what happened to my palette last night. I just set up a brand new sheet and the stuff went crazy on me. Sitting here on flat level ground. But we'll make it work. I gotta find a better way to do this close-up camera. Cheers, coffee time. Pardon me if you heard that swallowing. That was good coffee. Still some left too. You want a cup? It's upstairs in the kitchen. The way the sword is positioned on this model makes it incredibly difficult for me to paint across his chest. And I just got his sword and his armor. Oh good, nothing stuck to the sword. Once I get this upper bit done, I think it'll be kind of easy-ish. Yeah, it's going to take a couple coats across that armor color that I went haywire with yesterday. And we'll get his belt buckles done in a different color as well. Part of what I'm going in and hitting on in here is way back in there. It'll never be seen, at least not directly. So, but I want to make sure I have the primer color covered. Yeah, it looks kind of blotchy across the front of him still. I definitely need to get that belt done a little bit more elegantly than what it is. And I think I'm just going to do his scabbard in the leather brown as well. Thankfully I don't have, since his gloves are the same color, I can be a little sloppy right around there with my brush strokes just to get the paint on it. But I want to be careful around the wood because painting this wood last night was a real pain. I'm gonna have to go back and touch up on the metal on the edge of the sword a lot, or edge of the shield quite a bit. There we go. And it's nice. The leather brown seems to be covering, unless I've already got another color paint on it, seems to be covering nicely in one coat. The oak brown on the shield took 2, which I was surprised at, as dark as it is. Go. And where this guy is almost done. I'm gonna do, I guess it's called the pommel, the little ball on the end of his sword hilt. I think I want to do that in a bright brass. I'm also going to redo the cross guard in a different color. I know the swords were probably historically, unless it was like made for, you know, the king, they were probably fairly similar looking all the way through. And by that I mean they didn't necessarily flourish with a lot of different metals and things like that, unless it was you know, the stuff that your common soldier had wouldn't have been like what the knights were carrying, or things like that, or named blades that, you know, mercenaries and killers had custom made. That gray? It sure is. I need to touch that up with some red. I'm gonna say it's a detail that will never be seen, but I know it's there. There we go. We'll get his belt across the back here. I'm purposely overgoing with the brown here to make sure I get the hard edge of the belt, and then I will come back in and clean it up with the padded armor color as soon as we're done. These are very incredibly detailed. For these all print with 0 supports. I think I've only found one model that he's done that require, or that can be printed with the requirement of supports. It can be printed without it, but it had to be broken up into 4 pieces. And it's a draft horse that I think I don't remember if I put, it's part of the Farm and Animals pack up on the Etsy shop. Okay. Yeah, there's just a simple, looks like a simple buckle on his. Oh, wait. You know what? Let's be smart about this. Let's bring the mini up so everybody can see it. I believe he's number 2. Nope. Nope. Number 3. Oh, I see it. Okay. The button that's on the others is right there in the center. So I'm going to have to find a way to do that in silver and then in the red gemstone. I knew there was a detail I was missing in here. I just couldn't quite figure it. Alright. Before we concern ourselves with all the metal on these guys, let's go ahead and get all of this leather painted up. Oh, I'm missing Pokemon. Yeah, I knew they had some kind of a badge or a button on them that made them a detail that made them like a unit, more like a unit. Just couldn't see it for the time. Make sure I'm keeping my bald head off screen so the camera doesn't focus on it, not the mini. If you ever want to see a close-up, just let me know. There's a channel point redeemed for it, but I use the camera more often than not, so. Well, there's an alarm. No, I don't want you going off at 10:35. Sorry, guys. You know, my usual. Ineptitude has come forth. There we go. Now we should be good. But I will have to take a quick break here in a couple minutes. I usually try and wait. I usually don't take a break at all, but this morning I have to take some medicine, and I will take a real quick break for that. About right on him. Try and get this top edge a little bit. Okay, now we can move on to his other glove, the belt in the back, and his boots. There we go, now I got some paint on the brush. It does work better when you do that. Pro tip. I don't think I missed anything in chat. I'm notorious for missing chat if you say something. Oh, I did. Oh. Interesting. One second, folks. Got to take care of a little business here. There we go. All fixed. Sorry guys. Not a fan of bots and scam machines. People have enough issues out there in the world without somebody coming in and tearing down their world with a scam. There we go. Now I can see the edge of that. Get his glove painted. I do have a mod, but I believe he's still asleep right now. I have a few mods, and I think they're all still asleep right now. And that's perfectly fine. I just need to notice the stuff to be able to do it on my own. If I hadn't gotten that follower early, I wouldn't even have thought to look up a chat. Looks like the leather brown might take 2 coats on this guy. At least on parts of him. Sorry guys, I keep pulling that off screen on you, and I apologize. Not my intention as I do this. That little underside of his belt right there is still primer gray. Okay, now we'll get his boots, and then the basics for his leather is done. And then once we get that done, I'll take my quick break, and then I won't have to leave at all for the rest of the stream. Now these guys that I'm working on, I think these were the quick printed minis that I did, where I did 0.05 millimeter layer height. But I've refined it down to a 0.02 millimeter layer height that greatly brings out the detail even further. I know there's a bunch of other printers out there to do the same thing. And as I've also said, I do not want my channel to be about, or my life to be about, printing minis for others. I wanted to be able to give them away, and to do that I had to get on the merchant program. Little dab will do you right up in here. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay, the leather on him's looking pretty good. Let me clean my brush real quick. I'm going to put up the BRB screen for 1 minute, probably less, so I won't even bother running the ads. Now, let me go ahead and do that. That way ads are ads are run and we have all the time in the world together. Pardon me. So click to start the ads, and once they're done, I will come back. All right, I'm back. Finishing up the go juice. Let's see here. Push you back. That cup over here out of the way. There we go. Okay. Let's get the leather on guy number 3. And that'll actually clean up a lot of the armor. I have to clean my wash and cure this afternoon too, because I want to do another print of guys to have some more stuff to paint. Not that I'm short on stuff to paint. I have printed so many minis, it's not even funny. We can get these guys far enough, maybe we can add to our completed account for the year. I did that on a whim. Created the counters. I've also got one for minis I've assembled and things like that. Giveaways we've done, but I think I've turned the giveaway one off because we don't do many. At least not yet. I'm hoping to do 5 to 7 giveaways in a month. And if I'm printing for giveaways, the way the giveaways work, this next one is at 100 followers. And I will print and send to you one of the single character minis. And there should be a Google album there that shows all the ones available for giveaway, including up on in the middle on the left here. It cycles through them, but I am not sure it's actually cycling through all of them that are available. And I am adding to that album every so often as I get new STLs that I can give away. The giveaway will be done at no cost to you. I'm not a professional mini painter. This is not my job. This is my hobby. So I don't typically paint for people. But if you want me to paint the mini and send it to you, I can do that too. And that'll still be a 100% free giveaway for you. Won't cost you a thing. I even cover the shipping. The iBeast Merchant that I've been painting currently was our first giveaway. Apparently people were afraid to enter, so only my moderator and a couple of his friends entered, and my moderator won. So he said, paint it up and give it away again. So I'm working on the paint job now. Once it's done and I have a coat of poly on it, we'll run another giveaway. Once we have 5 or 10 people hanging out. And I will mail it to you for you to use in your campaign or in a diorama. If you want to use it in a diorama, I'm going to have it on a base, but the base is only going to be black because this is meant, like I said, to be a background mini. If you need something more specific, we can discuss it. If we're doing the giveaway for you, if it's a future giveaway. This first one, I might actually do in a small diorama. Since it's our first giveaway, it should probably be pretty special, you know? Not that all of them wouldn't be special, but there's something to be said about a first. I'm also charity fundraising for Hero Dogs Incorporated. Pardon me. They're a Maryland 501c3 that raises, trains, and places service dogs with honorably discharged veterans from the U.S. military that need the assistance. It's all done at no cost to the veteran. I know I've talked a lot of advertising this morning, and I apologize. I hate doing that. Except for about the charity. I wholly support their charity. I think the work they do is amazing, and our vets deserve it. My brothers and sisters that need the help. And if me going outside of my comfort zone and give Gavin advertising every 15-20 minutes helps them, I'm happy to do it. If you want to donate to them, down on the screen, pardon me, let me see, pull up one so I can know what I'm talking about, where there actually should be a drop down for, it may say subscribe. If it does, when you click on that, it opens up two possible tabs. One of them is donate to charity, the other is subscribe. Ignore the subscribe side and go on over and donate a couple dollars to the charity. I've set a modest goal, but I know training and placing these dogs is not even remotely inexpensive. I have to look up the figures again, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that it costs anywhere from $15,000 to $18,000 just to train the dog. And even then, after all the training, some dogs just, it's not something that they are capable of doing just through, you know, every dog has a personality just like every human, and some of us just aren't able to do that way. But those that do are absolutely fantastic, and I would wholeheartedly support any crew trying to place them with vets who need them. And if you're a vet who needs help, please contact Hero Dogs. If they operate in the Maryland, DC area, so contact them if you need help. If a service animal would be right for you. I can't make any decisions about that, but that's their job. And as a veteran, if you need to talk to someone, I'm sitting here. I can put this down to talk to you if you need to talk. I'm not a qualified therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. And what you're going through, I may not understand. But if what you need is a voice or an ear, I'm here. Hit me up. All too often we get left in the backlight. I don't blame anyone for us getting left there. Like a firehouse. You don't really appreciate it till you need it. Okay, his leathers are pretty much done. Might need a second coat in some spots, but he's looking pretty good. His shield is very, very well done. I'm the brown coated. By that I mean the brown coated very nicely. So we'll set him aside, let him dry. While those guys are drying, let's go ahead and see about getting a wash on the Beast Merchant. The other thing we're going to do this morning, we're going to paint his base black. This guy, the Catfolk Guide, because other than painting his base black, he's done and ready to go up to be polyed. Now I'll get out the light here in a minute, but all his eye stalks glow under black light. I thought that would be a nice touch. I painted his horns a slight brown. Well, we'll just do it again in skeleton bone. I'm pretty sure that's what I used. Get another dark coat on there just to get those horns colored. That was kind of a afterthought, but then when I go and put the wash on him, I want to try and avoid getting the wash on his horns. Oh yeah, we also needed to touch up that spot there that I hit with gold. I got some gold on one of these eye stalks when I was painting the rings and bling. Everything else looks good. He's got defined edges on all his bling. The gemstones are colored. Let's clean that brush again. More kitten glitter. Even more kitten glitter. Man, Princess, you're getting hair everywhere. Okay. So, before I apply the wash, let's go ahead and clean up, pardon me, his eye stalk there. For that, I believe Gorgon Hide is the color I was using. Let's hope. The only other soft gray I have out here. Need very little of that. There we go. And this should tell us if I got the right color. Yep, that's the right color. Sorry, I've got that way off screen for you guys. I'm cleaning up. Apparently, as I look closer at this, I got some of the fluorescent color in a place it shouldn't be on a couple of these eye stalks. I'm just going to clean that up. Now I wanted to make his main eye not completely bloodshot, but I was thinking about trying to put some red lines in it, but I'm just not sure how to do that. And as I say, the worst thing you can ever have to do is repaint. There's no other real detail other than what I painted on his eye, his main eye. Try and form that. Come on, give me a good brush tip here. I think I need to clean this brush real well. I'm violating my own 2.5 to 3 foot rule here. For some reason this morning these spots are just irking me to no end. Try and reform this point. That's a little better. Oh, hey, morning, Fudge. Hey, if you want to get into mini painting, let me know. Josh and I have no problem helping. Oh, I just screwed up that eye stalk. Alright, well, and here's the worst thing that can ever happen. I will completely repaint that eye. So I guess I won't be putting a wash on him this morning. That's alright. There we go. Get it covered opaque. Sounds good. Make sure Josh has your address. I'll send you a couple minis to paint. I've got some stuff that I've just had sitting around that I haven't been able to get to. So all you need to worry about is your paints and brushes. And if you want to get a decent starter kit, most of my stuff is the Army Painter line. I've started to expand into Vallejo, and of course for the Warhammer stuff I've got some of the Citadel paints. But the Army Painter line is really good if what you want to paint is D&D minis. I mean, it's good for any of them, but they have sets of colors that are named for D&D. I have their speed paints. I haven't pulled them out yet because I want to get through these first. But any one of their base sets is a decent starter point. You could even, because Citadel, I don't think they put out box sets other than the ones that come with, the one that comes with the 3 Necrons or 3 Space Marines. I don't think they do. Don't quote me on that. I haven't really looked. But I know Army Painter has several different tiers of sets, and they have, I think it's 4 different of their D&D line. They also just came out with a Game Master line of paints, and I'm sure the colors correlate, just the names are different. But you could get like a $30, I think it's the monster set. It comes with a mini. I have all the minis up around here that came with the different sets because I bought each one they made. And some of the colors are exclusive. So if you do like it and you run out, you have to go to someone to get that particular, you have to go to a hobby store or go to Army Painter online to order those individual bottles. They're not that expensive. They're only $2.50 each, but you have to get to like $50 or $100 for free shipping. But yeah, a lot of the brushes I use are, the most expensive brushes I use are the Artist Loft Level 3 acrylic brushes from Michaels. And there's only like a couple different sizes that I buy. Other than that, the ones that come in the starter kits, they're really good. They hold good paint. You don't need super expensive brushes. Anyway. I have to find, there's Demon Yellow. We'll let that dry some more. So let's get out our color for the base. Finish up. This guy, all we gotta do is paint the base black. We can't mess up on this because the fur color was a custom mix, and I don't remember what I did. We tried to go for a kind of a ginger cat, and I think we got there. And since he's a guide, you know, nature guy anyway, I didn't think that he would be very, I didn't think he'd have many flashy colors. So he's all painted in brown tones and all. So that's why he's looking the way he does. Oh, that's sitting like it's very watery. That's because that's not the base color. You goober. You chocolate covered peanut. That's Black Templar contrast paint. It's not going to hurt anything. But it's not what I wanted. Oh. I still have to make my second. You're not opened. Okay. I still have to make my second paint holder for Warhammer colors. Catherine's works great. Or, you know, the other one I made. There it is. I thought that paint sounded and looked real liquidy. Never heard of Valhalla's Gate or Magelings. Drop me a link into Discord. I'll take a look at them. Hey, good morning, sweetie. Oh, okay. Thank you, sweetie. All right. The girl is off to archery. Friday's the state archery tournament. I will not be on Friday because I will be at the archery tournament. It is during the day. I had to take the day off. It doesn't start till the evening, but I have to take like other appointments in the morning since I had to take the day off. I figured might as well make a full day of it. Reminds me, are captions working? It's good to get an hour into stream and not realize things. Yep, captions seem to be working. Yep, they're working. Okay. Okay, thank you. Sweet, thank you. All right, let's get you out here where people can see you. From here on out, I've decided I'm going to prime all the bases in black because it'll make this part so much easier. Because then it'll just be a little bit right around the feet to blend the stuff in. And I won't have to spend so much time doing the last little bit. Most of the time when I'm painting, I worry about whether or not you can see the brush strokes. When I'm just painting these bases black, since these are background guys, I'm not too concerned about having a strokeless base just fully covered in black. It's on the base. Okay. Apparently I had dust and dirt on the base. So it's textured whether I wanted it or not. I'll let him know. Enjoy your day. Oh, and right now we're working on this guy. Try that again. There we go. We're working on the catfold guy. We're going to finish him up here real quick, get the base painted. If this was a foreground mini, I'd be doing a lot more to this base. I'd put dirt on it and little tufts and things like that. And this paint job wouldn't matter at all. There'd still be some coat of paint down here to cover what might show through, but it wouldn't be nearly as visible. There's a little lip rim on these bases that I use to pop them off of the build plate. I like to make sure that rim is painted black as well, just in case it's seen from an angle. It's completely unnecessary to paint. Okay. So let's get this guy in the close-up cam. You can see how badly I butchered the base with just one coat. It's not, remember, it's not supposed to be perfect, smooth, or anything like that. It's a utilitarian base. Let's see. There we go. There we are. And there we go. And there he is, all done up. His eyes look so jacked. Like I said, this is one of the ones that I'm pretty sure I printed him in the 0.05 millimeter. So the eye back by his hand, I couldn't even see the paint, but I gave it the old college try. And the beyond that, if you take the other eye, it's right. His other eye is right. His other eye is done well. It's just because I couldn't see the one back by his hand. I think I actually painted the eye on his palm by mistake. But this guy is now done. So let's go in here and up our count. Yay! I need to get to the play sound alert or something too. Okay, so he's done. We will let him dry, and then I will put him on the stick for poly later. I guess I won't do a base for him at all, since he's going to go... I'm thinking I'm going to put him on that. And print up some other elements to go with him, so it's like a little apothecary shop or something. And make him or a magic shop. So I'll cover this with something. You know, this will just be the bottom base. I'll put, if we do a wood floor, I'll put popsicle sticks or coffee stirrers or something like that on here to make a floor. And then we'll get some other elements going with it. I think we can have some fun with it. And then I'll have to figure out a box to ship it in. Okay, is that eye stalk? Yes, that eye stalk is done. So let's go ahead and get out our angelic / demon yellow. We'll get the yellow on the eye stalk. While that dries, we'll go back to the town guardsman. I still have the 2 sailors we can work on, and I have the dragonkin youngling with his stuffed owlbear that we can work on too. And how appropriate, one of the colors I have on the DnD line is owlbear brown. That's it. That's all we need for yellow. Okay, we are back to Beast Merchant. Yep. Okay, let's get this yellow on here. There we go. Sorry, I held that up way too close, but now that eye stalk is yellow, and we can get, we'll get the fluorescent paints on it once it dries, and then we'll get the eye slit on it, and we'll be good to go. Okay, move back to the town guard here. I want to finish these guys up. Okay. Okay, his brown is good. Now what we're going to do is clean up the padded armor. There isn't much cleanup we need to do on the padded armor. And this will be done probably one more time when I go in and do the button with that special color on it. At least right in here will be done probably once more. He looks really good. Okay, we're gonna let the white dry, and then we'll come back in one more time with the red and square that up. And beyond that, on him, all we need to do, the new color on the hilt and all, and the cross piece, and then touch up the shield there. I'm gonna do I've got a metallic color to do on the shield there. Oops, he goes over here. So I can keep them in order. All right. Sorry guys, I'm leaning in the camera again. I thought I'd set it back far enough that I couldn't do that anymore, but apparently not. Apparently where there's a bald head, there's a way. Jeez. Pay attention. Stuck that in the wrong paint color. The armor will be a little darker right there. There we go. Touch up that red line now. Okay. Oh, right in there. Okay. Yep. I think he's good enough for now. We'll go back, touch up the red, and that'll clear a lot of that out. Isn't too much on him to clean up. Sorry, chat, if I'm neglecting anyone. Kind of in concentration mode right this second. Let me get this a little bit worked out here, and then I'll look up and see if I'm missing talking to anybody, because I don't want to miss that. I think his... Oh, I see a little bit there. And this is something that even I think is a waste of my own time, but it's once I see it, you kind of gotta fiddle with it. Okay, make sure I didn't miss anybody in chat. I don't mind missing the Pokemon. Nope. Okay. All right, guys. So the white is done on these guys, aside from any minor touch-ups if I mess up with the brush again. So let's go back to this gentleman. Oh, we're going to touch up the Cambion Crimson. That's what needs to be done first. little details are so far from visible. Okay, I think his red, if I put him back on screen for y'all, is pretty well touched up. And I know I said it on, say it just about every stream, but to know if your mini is painted well enough, nobody's going to be like this right up to their face with your mini when they're looking at it. They're going to see it at least usually arm's distance apart. So if you hold your mini out and you turn it slowly so that you can take in all your detail and your mini looks good, you might have to turn a little further because there's going to be shadows that are going to make it look like your paint job is off. But you hold it out there. If there's nothing glaring, no huge paint strokes that you see, you've painted your mini well enough. You've done a fantastic job. Pat yourself on the back and move on to the next one. Every now and then you will see pieces you need to touch up. And there's nothing wrong with that. As we showed with the iBeast Merchant, I had to do the worst possible thing I'd have to do to a mini today. And that's repaint part of it. And the worst thing you'd have to do is prime and repaint the whole thing, but that's kind of drastic. You really have to... Oh, well, there was a good one. That was a bad brush stroke. You have to touch up the white on this guy again. This is the one that has the gray in it. You want to make sure you get a coat of paint over all the primer. Something that is close to what the mini's color is supposed to be. Just in case. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. But it needs to have a little bit of a coat there, in the off chance that it gets seen from that angle. Speaking of paint on primer, there we go. I'm sure we'll have to come back in once we put the metal color on and touch this up just a little bit here and there. That's the nature of it. But your touch-ups should become smaller and smaller, and eventually as you get to be a better painter, which I am not yet, touch-ups may go the way of the dodo on every mini. You always have some spots where you're like, oh, that needs another coat. Oh, look, I touched the brush the wrong spot. But they will become fewer and farther between the more you paint. can feel myself getting a little shaky. So I need to concentrate a little bit more here. Get extra support points from my brush and my fingers. So only put paint where I want it at the time. And I should probably stop looking up at the camera to make sure I'm still in frame when I have the brush on the Mini. Okay, now we're ready for metallics, I think. So what we'll do first is we'll go back to the gunmetal. I think it is. Yep, gunmetal. That's what the color I did the armor in, was the gunmetal. And I don't think there's any touch-ups on his armor. Oh, a little bit where the brown leather came up on it. But nothing major needs to be touched up on his armor. But it's also what's on the banding on the shield. I just shook this up last night, so it should still be pretty good. And then I did the blade in the chainmail silver, like it was highly polished. Can't tell if that's paint. Yep, sure is. There we go. So he's touched up. Might need to hit it to red again, but let's see. No, we'll be good. These guys need their full coat. Oh, I didn't do a shield. I have to do the shield, clean up the banding on the shield a little bit. And I guarantee some of what I'm touching up now will not be seen from 3 feet away. But it looks cleaner and it's easy for me to see the lines if I clean it all up. Okay, we still have about a half hour left, 40 minutes. Now, I was thinking about doing these rivets. I might do them in the same color I do the cross in the center on. I have to go back up and touch the oak brown up to the edges there. Because that will be visible from a distance. Go. Yeah, the overstrokes are visible from a distance on that, even when but just in a couple of spots. So we'll just need to clean that up just ever so slightly. These metallics, they reflect the colors around them so well, it can make it difficult to tell whether or not you have gone over in some areas or you've gotten other colors where the metallic is. We got lucky on that one, did it right. Okay, this outer edge should be fairly easy, straightforward. Nothing we can hit with that unless I go really crazy with the brush. And we're going to hit this metal with a wash so it will look more used. It won't retain its super bright shiny the whole way. I'm way overboard on that silver or gunmetal. There we go. Just a little bit on the interior edges here. The shield's got a base coat. I'm gonna have to redo the brown a little bit more than I intended, but these things happen. I think I have to come back in with the flesh color on this guy again. Wanted to avoid that since it's such a small, tight area, but that's okay. When you make a mistake, you just got to pick up, move on, come back and correct when it's dry. Definitely don't try and fix it while it's wet. You'll just wet blend your colors and make an even bigger mess. We're not going to get these guys done today, but I think as far as we get today, we will be finishing them up pretty much first thing on the next stream, which probably won't be until Sunday. Sunday's still a little up in the air again, sorry. Not sure what my other job schedule is going to be yet this weekend. Saturday's definitely going to be gone, but Sunday I believe I'm going to be up at my dad's again. Whoa, 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 let's not go too far overboard there. There we go. Sorry. Going crazy with the brush tip there. Might have to touch up some brown again. But as it stands, I will definitely be on Monday. The time frames on the schedule are just what I'm kind of hoping, not kind of hoping for, but they're like times of last resort for the weekend. I'd like to start earlier than 9 p.m. and be done before midnight. Well, I don't have to be done before midnight. I don't have to get up till late 9 or 10 in the morning, so if I stream until 1:30, I'm usually pretty good. That looks pretty good, I think. I think I did the buttons on them and the gunmetal too. So let me go back and do the button on this one. Okay. That'll be the first detail I do on this guy. There. Alright, let's work on his shield. And then once I get this shield done, we should still have some time left. Once I get his shield and armor done. And then we'll look at the eye beast merchant again, see if we can't get that, the fluorescent colors on that eyeball. Gotta get the light in there. There we go. I think I need to pull the songs that I have in the opening credit sequence out of the main playlist. Because as soon as I hear them, I'm thinking something messed up. And it's going back to starting soon. Okay, I think we did pretty well on that one. Move it up here at the top. Still some basic primer color there. There we go. Make sure I'm not missing anybody in chat. Sorry, I am heck for doing that. Sorry guys, I keep leaning in frame. Tell you what, let me get a quick second here, back this up close to me. It'll be a little off screen for you guys. I can see these smaller areas just a little bit better. I've already got to repaint his face. Dadgummit. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and clean up his face. I'll do that off stream because I have to hold the mini so close to get the brush in there and see what I'm doing. It wouldn't make any sense to do that little bit on stream. We're almost done with this guy, at least this color on him. I think we're done with it. Oh, there's a little primer spot there. There we go. Okay. All right. So he's looking good right now. We'll go back, we'll work on that eye stalk some more. Let me clean the brush. Now for the eye stalk, or for the eyes on the stalk, we're using two different fluorescent colors by Cuttlefish Colors. We're using channel 6. Oh, and actually the second one is by Green Stuff World. It's a fluorescent orange yellow. So what I'm doing first is I'm going in and I'm putting a layer of this fluorescent orange yellow over everything that's yellow on that eye. And this will have some time to dry. And we'll probably do 2 coats of it just to make sure we have proper coverage. And it does change the color put on there. I'm going to try and keep it just on the yellow, because I don't want the sides of the eye stalk to glow. And by the sides, I mean the skin. Okay. Go. Now I also wanted to put some fluorescent on his ring back there. I wasn't so worried about the gems on the 2 bracelets, but I do want to try some of the altered lightning, and get that back gem to glow. And I've been using these things on so many of the minis that I've been painting lately. I got the colors, I figure I might as well put them to good use. Oh, that turns that metallic blue into a very nice color. There we go. We had used the, I think it was Azure Magic, or no. It was the Elven Armor color that we had used on there. It's a purpley blue. It's a very nice metallic. But putting that fluorescent blue over the top really makes that look like a sapphire. I wonder if I should hit the others with fluorescence, maybe bring them down to from less metallic looking to more gemstone looking. That is fantastic. I love that color. And before we go today, we have about a half hour left. I'll pull out the black light and try and get on camera what these guys look like when they glow. Or at least the ones we have finished. You know, the eye stalk might not be done. I might not have the pupil on it or the orange stripe. Well, what's the worst we have to do? Repaint? Green Stuff World makes a fluorescent red. I didn't see one in the Cuttlefish Colors line. I don't even think I've opened this one yet, so let me put it on the vortex for a minute. Or wait, yeah, I have. I have opened it. I used it on the objective markers for one-page rules for their robot legions army. And once I get off my butt and get a table set up, I'm going to pull out, I have a photo booth, I'll pull it out and I'll get pictures of these finished minis, and I have a Google album set up for them, and we'll get them scrolling somewhere. So if you guys are really interested in what things look like when I'm done destroying them, you'll be able to see. Okay, got the red up there. So let's try this red. Let's wet that brush tip again, form it. There we are. Say the worst thing we'll have to do is go back and paint these gems again. There we are. That one is almost completely covered, so let's and this one down here. That does soften them up to be more gemstone-like than metallic. I do like the way that's working. Whoa! So there's only a couple more here, and I do have a fluorescent green. That's in there. I know I've used the mutagenic green. Let's see how this looks. Sorry guys, these spots are so small. Sometimes it's easier just to bring it really, really close. Some of these I can hold out in front of me a good distance, because they are still visible. Isn't that interesting? I completely missed the gemstone on the back of his bracelet. Let me get out the glitter green. Touch that up. I believe the eye stalk. Yep, whoa. Alright. I'm changing out rubber bands today. That's all there is to it. Maybe I'm going to change caps. These holders are actually meant to hold the mini by the base. I don't like doing that because I like being able to paint the base. So I usually stick the mini on a soda cap or something like that. But these holders seem to work better with the caps off of those coffee flavors. Skinny Mixes, and there's another big company that does those, but they they tend to stick better and hold those better. What? Let's be smart. Let's go with a touch of paint. So most of what I have is soda caps. Yeah, I did that. So that's what I've been using, but as my wife goes through her skinny mixes caps or bottles, she's got pumpers for them, she gives me the caps, and they hold so much better in these holders. Let's see. This is lighter than the color that I needed, but it's a base coat on there, and then I can come back with the regular color. And that's what I mean about brush control, guys. You've got to keep your keep an eye on your brush. And pay attention to where you're putting it down. Can't get too involved in other things and then not pay attention to where your brush is going. All right, let's get that green orange out here while the fur on his cloak dries, or the yellow orange, orange yellow. That is a beautiful color. I've got a mini that I want to paint, and he's got a traffic cone on him. As like a hat, and I'm going to use that. That orange is gorgeous. I'm going to use that on the traffic cone. It's not meant to glow, but it gives you a glow anyway. This part is a little difficult. There we go. And then down the middle of that, we'll paint a pupil. Need to touch up a little more of the orange up here at the top. There we are. Okay. That gemstone should be dry now. We're doing such light coats, it should be okay. We're gonna go ahead and put the green on that gem. There we go. I think I'm gonna put another coat of the blue on the gemstone in the back here. There we go. And now we should be able to touch up his cloak. One of the things I like about the height, this is the taller of the two mini holders by Loot. I like it because I can set it on the table and it's at the perfect height for me just to twist it around and see things. The Foxbite handle's good in the same fashion. I like that you can rotate the mini on that holder without having to turn the whole thing though. Okay. Let's see if we can't get a pupil on this guy. Use the same Abaddon black that I used for the bases to do the pupils on the eyes. Okay. Ever so lightest touch of paint. And there we go. That eye is done. Let's go ahead and put him in the close-up cam. And that corrected pupil, or an eye stalk, or the one right over here. And I think they came out fairly well. He's looking good. We're going to get the red wash on him. Probably not today. Let's see here. It is 12:21. Almost time for me to cut down for the day. So let's go ahead and see how well the glowy works. Let's see here. Yeah, the camera's just getting one solid glow for the eye, but the, come back up here so you can see the gem glow. Try and get it up there in the camera light. The gems are glowing nicely and in their proper color. I might add it. The camera's not really picking it up. I'm hoping that I can get good photos of it when I take proper pictures of these guys. But they are glowing nicely. The orange glows, the yellow glows, and on the eyes, on each of them, you can see it visibly, but the camera's not picking it up. So we come back next stream, we will finish this guy off, and then I'll start thinking about the diorama. I'll have to print the apothecary or magic shop items that I want to use in the diorama. And you know, it's going to be very small. It's a little 5x5 base, nothing huge. We'll put the a wooden floor on it, I think. This is fairly thin plywood, or fairly thin wood, so I don't want to use too much water-based stuff on it that might make it warp, but we're going to do what we can. If I have to, I'll take this one and then take another one and turn it opposite direction and actually make a plywood sandwich out of it, glue it together, and work from there. I have several of them. Good pickup at Michael's for doing little dioramas. I want to do several little dioramas of the things that I paint here. Just add more skills to the toolbox, you know? Okay, so we got these guys pretty well done here. There's my eyeballs. Let me put my eyeballs back on here. We still have a few minutes, and I'll let my machine figure out who we're going to raid out to while I touch up around the buckle on these guys. Once you hit this with a little bit of that red paint, you can see the printed detail so much better. Mind you, it's up close. This is not something that you're necessarily going to notice from 3 feet across the table, but this is one of those little touches that you can do to make the mini your own. There we go. Is there any other red need to touch up? Oh yeah, around the armor need to touch up on this guy. A little bit of overbleed from the armor, from painting the armor color on, which was expected. There's edges we have to hit. There we go. He's all touched up. This guy got the worst brunt of it along here. There we go. That is looking darn good. Couple little other touch-ups here and there we'll need to do. Clean this brush, and then we can do the gemstones on those little buckles, which we were doing in the gemstone red. There we go. Don't need any more paint than that. I'm also still toying with the idea of finding a way to put some blue on each of their armor so that they more match, so that they have some blue like the guard captain has. I don't know that it's necessary. Probably isn't. There we go. All right. Let's see, who all's live today? Oh, Ramius is live. There we go. He's still getting ready for Adepticon. He heads to Adepticon soon. He is painting some awesome looking Minotaurs. So I think that's where we'll go for our raid today. Let's go ahead. We'll hide the mini. We already upped our mini count for the day. These other guys aren't ready to be upped yet. The closest one is the IB's Merchant, then the 3 Guardsmen. I think we'll finish all of them next stream without a problem. Let's go ahead and close this up for now. I will come back to it later on tonight. Most I will do off stream for these guys. I won't finish up the IB's Merchant. I'll save doing the washes on him for when we come back, but I might go further on the 3 Infantrymen. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do our parade of what we did today. We finished off Catfolk Guide. He's all finished. The base is all painted. He's ready for insertion into a campaign as a background character. Matter of fact, let's pull him off. And we'll put him up here with the Cavalcade of Stars. All ready for priming. or not priming. That's the last thing I want to do. All ready for getting the clear coat to keep the paint protected. Okay, next one we worked on today was the Beast Merchant. We got him all painted up nice. We touched up the spots that needed it. We got, we repaired the eye stalk or eyeball that I had messed up doing touch-ups. And we put the fluorescence on the gemstones. So all he needs is his final washes and then he's done. I have a base setting here for him, but since we're going to put him in a diorama, we're probably not going to use that base. I'll just use that on one of these guys. So we have the Town Guard Infantry. And we got a lot of the metallics on them today. This guy's further along than the others. He's a lot more cleaned up than the others are. We just need to finish the metallics, get the cross guards all done nice. The hilt and cross guards. Get the crosses on, the shields painted. I want to do the little rivets on the shield straps are going to be done in black. We'll do that next time. I may do that off stream because I have to hold close to do those little details. But these guys are almost done. The other guys we're working on, that haven't been on camera today. I went through and on the sailors, I went ahead and I painted the skin colors on that one. It didn't have anything on it. And then I touched up the skin color on him a little bit. We're going to do his hair is going to be done in jet black. I think that's going to look good. I did the pants in black too, so I don't know. I might do a different color for those pants. We'll see. But that's what we accomplished today, guys. And yesterday. The other one we're going to start working on. Just get that up here on camera real quick. We've got the Dragonkin Child. And come on. There. He's got a stuffed owlbear behind him. So we will work on him and get him done. I'm not working on these guys from the Etsy shop in any particular order. I'm just, whatever I print, I paint, and I'm always testing new things. So, if you see a model in the Google album for giveaways or for sale in the store that you want to see painted on here, let me know. I'll print it up. We can spend some time painting that and work on things after as we go. I hope to start getting more followers. I'd like to get to 100 followers, do another giveaway. After that, down below the stream, you'll see subscription goals. The money for the subscriptions is just being used to pay for the shipping for the giveaways. So that's why it's I think it's 20 subscriptions does a giveaway, because I don't know where I'm shipping the mini to. And then at the end of the month, it's either going to go towards the electric bill for running this, or I'll donate it to Hero Dogs when I get that payment. So thank you all for coming out today. We're going to raid out to Ramius. So I should have clicked that a while ago. And then raid channel. And before I say that that's where we're going to raid, let me make sure he's not at lunch. Which I've done that several times already. I have raided out to him and he's been at lunch. And It's a wait. Okay, have to wait for his pre-rolls to run. And today he's doing more of the Resin Beast paints. He leaves in 4 days for Adepticon. I think that's down in DC. I'm not sure. I've never been. Yep. Okay, he is still live. He's currently painting, so we're going to go ahead, raid out to him. Let me go to ending soon. Okay. I'd like to thank everyone who came out to today's stream. I appreciate every visitor, lurker, chatter, follower, subscriber, supporter, and donator to the charity who stops by. I hope to see you all here again during my next stream. Be safe out there.
Man, I am just stepping away for grabbing some lunch.
I knew it. I knew it.
Grabbing some lunch. But this is what we're working on today. I'm trying to get this sucker finished up. For the Resin Beast Adepticon painting competition. But yeah, give me a hot minute. I'm gonna grab some food, and I will be back. I'm working on gemstones, and I'm gonna be doing a little bit more of the gold filigree and stuff on it. There's a little bit on the arms that I need to take care of, so I need to get in there and get those little like swirly bits. And then I think I want to do a little more work on the bronze laurels on the back. I want them to be a little bit more tarnished bronzy. So we'll see what I can do when I get back. Give me a couple minutes, and we'll see you then.